Lori is hooked on phonics, right?
I am hooked on phonics. Hooked on phonics. Funny that phonics is not spelled phonetically.
Hi, fasters. Welcome to Old, Fat, and Fasting. I'm Krista, and this is my sister, Lori. We are old, we are fat, and we are fasting, and we both fast for weight loss and for health.
Today's episode is all about stuff that totally feeds my organizational needs, loves, desires. I love to organize.
Obsessions, maybe, borderline.
Yeah, meal prepping or meal planning. All of that today is I have so much show and tell spread out on my desk here. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is just a general overall meal prep. Think about, like, I don't know. We're old. Do you remember the old, Mom didn't get them, but do you remember the old frozen dinners that would have,
Oh yeah,
you know, the protein and stuff? So that's what I'm going to talk about first. Is just, you can cook a whole bunch of protein, or, well, maybe not a whole bunch. How much are you going to eat this week, depending on your fasting thing? So if you're going to eat 3 or 4 meals this week, cook 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. And cauliflower mash is something that I really like, where you just steam your cauliflower and throw it in your blender with some, if you're doing keto, you'll want to use whole cream or half and half, and just a little butter, and blend it till it's like the consistency of mashed potatoes. You can make it also into a soup, which is a different segment in today's episode. I also like to cook some riced cauliflower that I'll saute maybe some onions and green pepper and stir it in there too. So it's a little bit like fried rice. Another side dish you can do is sauteed veggies. Just make sure you leave out root vegetables because they're high in carbs, and corn, and just, we're going to do an episode later, not today. A lot of vegetables are really high in carbs. So all root vegetables are high in carbs: carrots, turnips, all that stuff. Corn, potatoes. That's all that comes to mind right now. But saute some of those. Those are good for a side dish, or just a side salad. And these are, I also really like containers, which you're going to learn really hard in this episode. I get these at Sam's. I'll put the price on here of what I pay and how many it is. It's Hefty brand, and I'm also going to put a link below where you can buy them on Amazon. These are just a 1 compartment.
Yep.
But they have them that have 2, 3, and 4 compartments, I think. And then this one is just round. They're dishwasher safe. They're microwavable. But those are really good for just, you could plan for a week, however many meals you're going to eat that week, and make that many and stick them in the refrigerator. Or, you know, if you want to make just a ton of them and throw them in your freezer, you know, and then you can just set them out of a morning and warm them up that night for dinner, or whatever time you break your fast.
So you can just take that container. This is always something that I think about when I think about actually meal prepping. Is like Josh could take one of those containers and just stick it in the freezer. You don't have to wrap it in foil or plastic or anything like that.
I mean, they're, the lids say that they are leak tight, you know.
Okay.
But, and I haven't frozen a meal in them, but I would maybe stick it in a big Ziploc bag and then put it in the container.
Oh, that's true. Just like a gallon size Ziploc. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're just gonna, like, if he wanted to double his meals,
Mm-hmm.
I think he could keep half in the refrigerator and half in the freezer. And I think they'd be fine as is in the freezer for a week without worrying about freezer burn. The next easy thing to meal prep are soups and stews, and they're great because you can, again, throw them in a freezer. If you put them in a big zip tight bag, you can throw it in the freezer. Yeah. I always lay mine like in a casserole dish and put it in the freezer so it's flat. But don't zip it all the way; it'll leak into the casserole dish and not into the bottom of my freezer.
Oh,
So they're easy to freeze. And there's also these little, I love containers. These containers are great for a single serving, or I'm out of the bigger ones, but this is 8 ounce. The bigger one is 16 ounce. It's like the size of a large Chinese delivery soup.
And I'm going to be a broken record. Can you put those in the freezer?
I put those in the freezer.
Okay.
Yeah. And anytime you, excuse me, put anything in the freezer, make sure it's room temperature before you put it in there, or it will heat up your freezer or heat up your refrigerator and make other things in there warm. So room temperature.
Never would have thought about that.
Then put it
Okay.
in there. And soups and stews are easy to make. You can do them in the instant pot. You can do them in a crock pot. You can do them on your stovetop. So they're just really easy things to make. Some of the ones
And yummy.
And yummy. Yeah, Chris and I have both said that we could eat soup if it's 110 degrees outside. We like to make soup.
Yeah.
Something I make a lot in the winter is beef stew, and I just leave out the root vegetables. Chicken soup and chicken vegetable soup. I'll put links below to videos I've made on those, and I just use a rotisserie chicken for that. Vegetable soup, you could do the same thing, just leave out the chicken. And that's the one you really like, is vegetable soup.
Yep, I love vegetable soup.
Gordon Ramsay's broccoli soup. Holy smokes, is that stuff good? And if you have water and you have broccoli, you have soup. It's the same way that you make the cauliflower mash that I talked about earlier. You steam the broccoli and throw that in your blender. And you can use cream, skim milk, or that is one that I usually just use the water that I use to steam the broccoli in, because it just puts more broccoli.
Yeah.
Throw it in there and throw it in your blender. And I can't tell you how many people have like crinkled their nose at that. And I'm like, do you like broccoli?
It is so good.
It's broccoli. I mean,
yeah, literally.
Yeah. And, I've put some bacon bits in it before. Steve will sometimes put shredded cheese on his, so it is so good. It is so yummy.
And you can really do that with any vegetable. I've done it with you can do it with cauliflower. You could do it with peas. I love split pea soup.
I know.
So you can do it with any vegetable.
Sugar.
Huh?
Peas are high in sugar. Like, that's a no-no on a carb list.
Are they high in sugar? I didn't know that.
How about I pop up a screen right now and let it linger on the nutritional information on peas?
Okay. And I was going to say, as far as like putting carrots and stuff in soup, you could probably do that. Just don't put a lot in it. So
that's true. Stick to one.
Yeah.
But not potatoes. I wouldn't do potatoes.
No, I wouldn't do potatoes.
I wouldn't do that.
No. I think potatoes also affect your insulin and blood sugar and stuff, and you don't want to do that either. So
yeah. And another good soup stew is chili.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love chili. Don't put beans in it.
Yeah.
And depending on where you live, you're going to make a face and go, what is that? And don't put spaghetti in it.
Yeah.
Spaghetti squash.
That's true.
You could do spaghetti squash for spaghetti. And again, some of you, depending on where you live, are going, who puts spaghetti in their chili? Southerners do.
Yeah.
This next one is my favorite thing to keep on hand, and that is prep salads. I love, love, love salad. And for those, I bought these, but these are too small for me. But Krista, this is probably the size that would work.
Yep, probably.
I got those on Amazon. I'll put the link below. That is probably the good size for most people. This is the size I use. And I get these at Sam's. But one thing I like about these, I don't fill them to the top.
Yeah.
But I like them because they have a lid and I can add my dressing and then shake it up.
Oh.
And all the lettuce gets coated.
Yeah.
But what I put in the prep salad, I do everything except the dressing when I prep them. I do the lettuce, I do grilled chicken, I do diced purple or red onion, whatever you want to call them, bacon bits, 1.5 teaspoons of tart cherries, 1.5 teaspoons of raisins. And I don't actually measure them. I just kind of
Yeah,
get little
eyeball
pinches
it.
and throw them in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sliced almonds. And our kitchen refrigerator will hold about 4 of those stacked. So I usually have 2 in there, and Steve has 2 in there. My favorite combo is a mix of balsamic or Italian. Balsamic? I always want to say balsamic.
Yeah, I never know how to say that right.
It's spelled, we were joking off screen earlier about me being a very phonetic spelling person. It's spelled balsamic.
Okay. Yeah, it's BALSAM.
Yeah. So a mix of that or Italian with ranch is wonderful. Oh, and we have one of those bullet, actually it's a Ninja, I shouldn't push bullet. One of those blenders that you just fill up and put it in there. I poured in a jar of jalapenos and blended those up, and we put a spoonful of that on that.
Oh, wow.
And I do that in the prep part. So all we do when we get these out is add the dressing and shake it up.
Gotcha.
Did I say sliced almonds? I put sliced almonds in.
You did.
Okay. Yay me. Another easy thing to keep on hand, and we have videos on this, and I'll put those links in the description. Chicken salad, tuna salad, shrimp salad. So easy. You can use canned chicken, or you can cook your own chicken, or pull the chicken off of a rotisserie chicken, and some mayonnaise, and I don't know. I put onion, pickle, and celery in ours, and it's really good. And those are things that I'll put in one of these 2 container sizes. It's really good. It's really quick. It's really easy. And it's really
I love
good.
chicken salad. I eat chicken salad almost every eating window. I just really like it. And I know you're going to not like this either, but sometimes I put capers in mine.
No, I do not like capers.
So just another suggestion. If
What
I
else
love
do you put in
olives,
yours?
Lori doesn't like
I don't
olives.
like olives.
Yeah. And to me, capers are kind of mini versions and not quite as salty as olives. So anyway, yeah, I like capers in my chicken salad too.
Casseroles are another good thing to keep on hand. And that's another link I'll put below, is a pizza casserole that I make, and the crust is made out of chicken. It's so good. But casseroles are great to have on hand because, you know, it's built into it that it's 8 servings, 10 servings,
Right.
split it down the middle and then divide it. And,
right.
you know, so make 1 casserole a week, and that'll feed you for a week.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And like for me, because I'm the only one eating here, sometimes I'll just like cut the recipe in half.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
could do it
that's
in an 8x8 instead of a
exactly.
Yeah, look how smart you be.
So that's another nice thing about casseroles. They are a recipe that's easy to adjust for smaller portions.
The rest of the things to discuss today don't involve you having to do anything really except go to your grocery store. You can look at your grocery store hot bar. A lot of the grocery stores have that. Our store, maybe some do not list the calories or the ingredients or anything. So you have to kind of be careful on that. Like, this isn't the hot bar, but the chicken salad, the pre-made chicken salad that I can get at Sam's, it has sugar in it.
Yeah.
So maybe you can find information on their website or ask maybe at the counter. You know, I think most places have to provide nutritional information if you ask.
Yeah, I think so.
So check your hot bar, check the deli case, and I don't mean like the sliced meat section, but ours has, like, you know, pre-cooked, just go home and warm it up, salmon, chicken breast, asparagus, all kinds of things. Those are other easy things, easier than preparing at home if you can just grab it there.
Yeah, if you're in a pinch.
Yeah. Our grocery store, we are lucky that we live like 5 minutes this way are 2 of my favorite grocery stores, and 5 minutes this way is Sam's. So I have a lot to choose from. Harris Teeter is one of the grocery stores, and they carry Home Chef meal kit.
Mhm. And Harris Teeter is owned by the same people who own Kroger.
Their meals, I'm looking down a little bit here because my writing is sideways on my post-it note. Home Chef at our store ranges $17 to $19. And it seems like some serve 2 and some serve 4.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So,
Kroger has those too.
yeah. So if it's just you and you buy one that serves 4 people, there's 4 meals for the week for $19.
Right. Which, depending how often you're fasting, could be a whole week's worth of dinner.
Yep. Now, some of them won't work because unfortunately, a lot of these meals have potatoes. Publix, which is the other store that's over there by Harris Teeter, has their own brand of meal kits. It's called Apron, and they have various options. I'm going to put up some overlays here. One of them is just individual servings that you just put in the oven.
Nice.
Yeah, they're small. I'm digging into my props for another thing, but they're, maybe this size-ish.
Love it. I have seen those single servings I have a Whole Foods 5 minutes from me, and they have single servings like that.
Oh, there you go. Publix has the individual ones, and then they have slow cooker ones also.
Oh, nice.
That you just come home and throw in there. And then they have some that come in a bag, and I'm doing this even though I know I'm doing it behind an overlay that has more than one serving in it. And theirs range from $16 to $25. The individual servings, I forgot to write down on my cheat sheet, so I'll have to pop it up right here, how much the individual servings are. But those are easy options, and no prep work. Just come home and cook it.
Right.
The next 2 that I'm going to mention are probably items that most people haven't heard of, and I actually happened upon both of these. I'm not sure what I was doing or searching they both popped up on my Facebook ads. These are a Tovala is about the size of a toaster oven, smaller than a microwave. Right now they are on sale for $99 as of the day of this shooting. And I'll put the coupon code below. It's working as of today, but I know it's also the same code that I used when I bought ours. So they're on sale right now, $99, marked down from $299.
Yeah. So they must do this sale like every few months or something.
Yeah, I think we've had ours a year maybe. It is absolutely an amazing gadget. We stopped using it when it was all 3 of us. The meals cost about $12 a serving. And I got it when there were 3 of us living here and we were all eating, we weren't fasting. But they come in different containers, and it will be in one package. So like one meal will have a protein and a vegetable, and you put them in at the same time. And I love this toy. You'll get a recipe card. I'm gonna hold this up to a screen, but I'll probably end up putting an overlay. But it has QR codes on them, and you put the QR code under this thing on the oven, and it knows what you're cooking, and it does everything. Your phone will even ding and go, "Your dinner's ready."
Oh, that's like something out of the Jetsons.
Isn't it? And I absolutely love it. The reason I haven't picked it back up yet is they have different options that, low calorie, low carb, customizable. But, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of things will say they're low carb, and we're like, low carb in whose book?
Right.
35 carbs is not low carb.
Right.
That's what I eat a week in carbs.
Yeah.
Some of their things are legitimately low carb, but some aren't. But the cool thing about it is you don't have to use their food. They have these little, like this one is for roasted broccoli. So you can go to the store and buy broccoli and scan that code,
Oh,
and it will cook the broccoli for you. Or here's 2 eggs over medium on avocado toast, roasted
hold
bone-in
on,
skin on chicken breast,
hold
roasted
on.
salmon.
It does over easy eggs.
I've actually done it. You just put the eggs in here. You put water. There's a water reservoir in the Tovala.
Oh, okay.
So when it adjusts, when you scan like one of their recipes, it will bake, cook, broil, whatever,
Right.
and then it will switch back and forth between cooking on this item and cooking on this item, and so it'll steam sometimes and it'll bake at other times. It's amazing.
Huh.
Roasted salmon. So
Yummy.
we just held on to these little things as we finished them. And in the app, there's different recipes. Like you can do a search for Brussels sprouts, you know, and you can click right from your phone and it'll turn the oven on. It is the neatest. It is my favorite kitchen toy.
You can do it from your phone, you said.
Yeah. Like,
So there's an app.
yes,
There's an
Yeah.
app for that.
because
Okay.
it's all done through Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
There's a recipe. I'm going to hold this up for you, but I'll put an overlay on the thing. There's a recipe. Focus at the bottom.
Oh, uh-huh.
So you click on that and you can either enter, you know, chicken or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but then there's also recipes on here. So you don't have to buy their food. You can go buy your own food and there's the recipe.
Oh,
And you do everything that it tells you to do. And then you hit that cook button and it'll turn your
Okay.
oven on. How
okay.
freaking cool is that?
So then it wouldn't be $13 a serving.
Right. If you get your own food. Yeah.
Right.
It's really cool. Their meals are about $12 a serving. And if you sign up for their meals, the smallest order you can do is 3 meals a week,
Okay.
which is fine when you're fasting.
Right.
And that's $36 plus tax plus $6 shipping. If you get 3 or 4 meals a week, it's $6 shipping. If you get 5 or more, the shipping is free. Another thing about getting these meal kits or Tovala or this really fancy one I'm going to talk about in a minute is portion control.
Yeah.
You know, you get those individual servings and it's really cool. Another thing is if you're not heating your whole oven in your whole house to cook
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
I have fallen back in love with my Tovala on shooting this episode.
Yeah. I used to have a toaster oven and I loved it for that reason. You know, because a lot of times I was just cooking for me and I'm going to heat up my whole oven and use all that energy and heat up the kitchen for one serving of something,
Yeah.
you know, or to put it in the refrigerator and half of it never get eaten. So yeah, I think I don't have one just because I have no counter space, but I'm trying to fix that right now. So I might get one down the road.
Literally everything we ate, and again, we weren't watching what we ate then. Every single thing we ate was amazing. And you can pronounce everything on their ingredient list. There's no preservatives in it, you know, so it's a lot of the stuff you get at the grocery store, you know, has a bunch of added stuff to make it last.
Oh yeah.
And Tovala I have fallen in love with my Tovala again. So you were saying that the Tovala sounded very Jetson-like. The last thing I'm going to talk about is probably beyond Jetson era.
Oh.
Way more futuristic. And it's called a Suvie, and it's not what everybody is thinking of a Suvie. We have that too, where you vacuum pack it and you cook it in water. This is Suvie, S-U-V-I-E. This thing, you know, we're geared towards people 50 and over. Do you remember how big the first microwaves were?
Oh, yeah.
You could like park your car in it. The Suvie is about that big, or the one we have. The one we have is so old they don't make it anymore.
Okay.
And we only bought it because we found it on Facebook Marketplace for $100 and something. Put a screen up right now with the cost of how much they cost and the difference between each one. The one we have, it works a lot like Tovala in that it's programmable, but you can put frozen food in there and tell it it's frozen and what time you want it to cook. So like you would leave for work of a morning and you would put this frozen thing in there and it will keep the food cold. And you say, I want to eat at 5 o'clock, and it will set what time to start cooking. And it has different compartments in it. I'm going to put links below to on YouTube for Tovala and Suvie so everybody can see what it is. This compartment will cook the protein. This one will steam the vegetables. This one will pour water in and cook your pasta or your rice, and it drains. You can say I'm not having pasta or rice, so you don't have to cook in this one, but I'm going to put a link up below because it's just too hard and electronic-y for me to explain, but it's fun to play with. But like I said, we got it used on Amazon, on Facebook Marketplace, and they don't make that one anymore. But the ones that I put on the screen, and I'll put them up again now, they look a lot more narrow. Ours was like probably twice that big as the cheapest one, $400. And their meals, you can get, they do have their own food, but you don't have to use it. But they have protein only.
Oh,
You don't want vegetables, and it's $8 a serving. But if you want the full meals, and they have different dietary preferences too, and they range $11 to $12. The smallest one is called a Suvie kitchen robot, dual zone cooker for proteins and vegetables. So that's the one that would be the good one to have if you're watching your carbs.
yeah. And how much is it?
That one is $3.99, $33 a month.
Okay, well, the monthly payments is good too. And it's $100 more than a Tovala, basically.
Right. Well, and it says that the $399 is the sale price marked down from $800, but I feel like it has been that price since I looked at it the first time.
Yeah, sale.
Yeah. We want to thank everybody for watching. I can scoot up now because I said push back from my desk. I told Krista my knees don't fit under the desk, and I'm not tall.
Nope.
I'm 5'4", but they go under my desk, and if I touch my desk, it shakes, and it looks like we're having a little mini earthquake. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening. We appreciate you guys.
Yep.
And we will see you again next time.
Yep.
Happy fasting.
Adios.